Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about a few of the planning systems I kind of used over 2022 and what I'm going to be doing in 2023, or how I'm at least going to be starting 2023. Now, at the end of 2021, I made a bunch of videos or a few videos about different planning systems that I was going to be using across the year, different planners and things like that. So what I'm going to cover is a few of them that I used across the year, and as I said, talk a little bit about what I'm going to do this year, because there were pros and cons to each system, and I kind of wanted to develop something that really suited me and what I need. And so halfway kind of through the year, or towards the end of the 3/4 through 2022, I decided to move most of my planning digital onto my phone, iPad, onto the Google Calendar and iCal system that Apple use, because it allowed me to sync that calendar with other people or have shared calendars with other people. So, like if I have a specific project with specific people, I can share a calendar and all the rehearsals can go in there, or, organizing things with, my daughter and my partner and things like that. All very easy to do when you use Google Calendars and iCal and all those kinds of systems. You can sync them all up very simply. And I found I was just writing things out again, so I'd have to put them in there, and then I have to transfer them to my planner, and that kind of ended up just becoming a bit of a pain. I've always said if it takes longer to plan something than it does to do it, then you're wasting your time. And for me, that's my system. That's how it works for me, and that's why my bullet journal is super sparse. It is super simple, super, and that's what I use sort of as a daily driver. At the moment, a version of bullet journaling for my daily planning, not my overall planning. A lot of my, like I said, all my rehearsals, appointments, meetings, all that kind of stuff, all goes into iCal and Google Calendars to sort of sync up with other people. But let's talk about some of the systems, the planners that I used in 2022. And I'm going to start with... Look, I'll start with Hobonichi Cousin. I use this one for a lot of the year. This is the one that has the day to a page layout. I don't know how well it will come up on the video. Day to a page layout. And, it allowed me to transfer all my meetings and things. It's also got monthly views, weekly views, all that kind of stuff. It's got so much in it, and it gave me plenty of room also for my daily to-do list. And that's what I find I need more than anything, is the daily to-do list. Particularly if I'm using things like Google Calendars and stuff like that, it's the daily stuff that I found a lot of these systems kind of left me needing. This was great for that, but overkill. Really, it was completely overkill. And I found I was writing things out day to day again and again, which is something that I've found myself doing across a number of these systems, which I'm going to try and eradicate just a little bit for next year. The next system is the Studio Milligram planner. This is the agenda version. This comes in the binder version. It also comes in sort of hardbound and, books and things like that. I'll just find a page. This has got one that I haven't used yet. It's got down one side, it's got the week, so the days of the week, and you can list all your appointments, whatever, and then to-do list and note space on the other side. Great, except there wasn't enough space for the amount of tasks I often found myself needing. It's that daily thing again. And there are a few systems that use that sort of layout that I used, like the Traveler's Diary. A couple of their inserts are very similar, and there just wasn't enough room. And so I end up finding I was sticking sticky notes in and all that kind of stuff, and I find there's just got to be, as I say, a way that I can cut some of that down, keep it all going nice and neat and tidy. Then I tried the Goal Digger planner for 2022. This is such a beautiful product, and it is so structured, and it is so beautifully set out. Once again, I'll find this sort of page. It's got, so this is the the week down one side again, and then space for goal setting and to-do lists and notes and all that kind of stuff down the other side. It allows you to have things like your 3 wins for the week, what you're grateful for, all that kind of stuff. And there's these monthly dividers in the pages as well, so you get the monthly calendar, which I didn't use in this, and then this sort of stuff where you can set out your goals, that your morning routine, and then goals and how you're going to achieve them and how you're going to focus on them and things like that. The Goal Digger is designed for people who are task orientated in sort of more longer term or goals and things like that. So if you're after a really structured planner, which has the week down one side and then space for all the other stuff on the other, similar to some of those other weekly planners, this is a great one. It works so beautifully, and the quality of the build and the quality of the paper is all really nice, but there's a lot in it. So for me, I wanted something a bit more open. I then turned to just using a notebook. This is the Greenwood Journal, which I love. These are just beautiful, like simple notebooks. These are lined, and I ended up using this kind of a bit like a bullet journal with dailies and things like that. So I put the day and the task list underneath it, and then I transfer what I was doing day to day in here. Once again, I'm just writing stuff out again and again. So, which is why turning to things like the Apple system allowed me to find a way of having all those tasks, those like appointments and meetings and rehearsals and that kind of stuff really well listed in an easy to find way, and then also being able to like focus on that. I know a lot of people have been using these for years and years and years, and I'm not saying anything new, but for someone who's gone from using primarily analog to primarily digital was a big step for me. I use these freeform things. I was using different kinds of notebooks for different tasks, dailies, having like weekly, monthly spreads, stuff like that, like bullet journaling. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to sort of consolidate down to something that was a bit more just a bit more what I needed and covered what I wanted, and was able to be adjusted as I needed, and and so for me, I'm keeping digital. I'm going with iCal and Google Calendars again. But what I'm going to do is I've got two books that I'm going to use. One is an Archer and Olive A5 notebook. It's the simplest thing. For all those daily note-taking that I was trying to find space for, or for specific project task lists, things like bullet journaling. This is a great notebook. It's beautiful paper, 160 GSM paper, fountain pen friendly, which is great for me because I love to use my fountain pens in all of this. But this will be more like specific projects and like to-do lists for those projects, as well as note-taking in rehearsals and things, which I was trying to find space for in other planners to try and keep everything sort of together. And then I'm also going to use this. This is the Hobonichi Weeks. So this, I'll just open up to a random page in the middle here. So we've got December here. Weeks down one side of the page, like days of the week. And then just memo space, and then a bunch of memo space in the back. It's great. There's also a, like a yearly calendar and like monthly view calendar in here. And so how this is going to work for me, I decided to get this one. It's nice and small, it's flexible. I'm looking to get a leather cover for it. I'm looking at the Galen leather one. Galen leather make great leather covers for all the Hobonichi products, or that are appropriate for all the Hobonichi products. But this is kind of going to be my to-do list. And because what I find is I rarely have tasks that are specific to specific days. It's like I need to email this person or whatever, and that kind of stuff can happen anytime, or it can happen specifically. So the way I'm going to kind of do things is use the weekly portion of it to be more like my daily initial to-do list that I have to do on that day. And then on this side, more like my general task list that needs to get done. Because I find it, when I was doing the weekly one, I'd have all that down the side, but because I was using appointments on the other side, there wasn't enough space to create my individual daily lists of what actually needed to be achieved specifically on that day. And so I was writing things day to day in other notebooks and bullet journals and things. And this way I only have to write those specific things out once. If I get them done, cross them off. And then a weekly list that I can go and I can cross stuff off as I do it and add to it as I need to. And so that kind of system I think will be really handy. And then coupling that with like, project pages and, more specific stuff in the Archer and Olive notebook, I think is going to be a great little way of doing things. It is carrying two books and a phone, but I think it's nice. I think it's going to suit what I need, and everyone is going to have different needs. Everyone's going to carry less or carry more, or have a different notebook for everything. Or I find I don't need that. So having a way of listing to-do lists, not appointments, but to-do lists, which is the driver of my day, because I mainly work when I'm not rehearsing a show. I mainly work from home. And my to-do list is stuff that I need to get done on that day at home. It can just sort of drive with me there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing this year. Last year was really interesting. I covered a lot of different planners, a lot of different journals and diary systems, and I found some of them to be really great, some of them to be lacking in some ways. And each of them had their strengths and their weaknesses, and I think that what I've come up with for me this year is just an interesting, clean way of going about it that's not going to be too complicated, and that can be efficient and save me time in the long run. So thank you for watching. I hope something in here was interesting or useful. Please give it a like and thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. And let me know in the comments below what you do for planning. If you do things, if you use specific planners or what you use. I think it's really great to be sharing this stuff with the community. And if you'd like to support the channel, get in touch. If there's products you'd like to, you need to look at, or if there's something you'd like to provide for a review, I'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, enjoy your planning system, whatever it may be, and I'll talk to you soon.